Hi there. I would like to discuss with you today purpose, values, and principles, and how these shape your journey. My name is Adeolu Murawo. Have you ever wondered why you do what you do? Have you ever wondered why some people act selfishly while others act selflessly? Have you wondered why some nations are prosperous while others are perpetually poor despite having lots of resources? Have you ever wondered if your actions will lead to success or failure? In this talk, you will learn the answer to these questions. We will talk about how to act with purpose, based on good values, aligned with timeless principles. So first, let's talk about purpose. What is purpose? Purpose is the reason something exists. For example, the purpose of a pen is to write. Once the ink dries out, it's as good as useless, or a decoration, maybe. The purpose of a fan is to blow air. Once it can no longer do that, what use is there for the fan? Do you know your purpose in life? It is important to know your purpose because purpose gives direction and meaning to life. If you want to become an artist, for example, you will take a different direction in your schooling as opposed to if you want to become a nurse. Purpose is what we try to achieve with our actions. Say, for example, if you want your parent to buy something expensive for you, you have identified a purpose. That purpose will start giving you direction, to do your chores, to work hard and show you're a good boy or girl. If you do not have a purpose, you will live a life without direction and take several actions that add up to nothing. Let me tell you the story of a girl to illustrate what purpose is. Once upon a time in a small village in Pakistan, there was a young girl named Malala Yousafzai. Malala loved going to school and learning new things every day. However, when she was just 11 years old, things began to change. A group of people called the Taliban took control of our village and decided that girls should not go to school. They believed girls didn't need an education, and they even started closing schools for girls. But Malala felt this was quite very unfair. She believed deeply that every girl deserved the chance to learn, just like boys. So she started speaking out, writing about her experiences and standing up for her right to go to school. Even though it was dangerous, Malala continued to speak up for what she believed in. One day when she was 15, Malala was on her way home from school when the Taliban attacked her, hoping to silence her voice. They hurt her badly, but Malala's spirit was unbroken. She was taken to a hospital in another country where she slowly got better. Instead of being afraid, Malala became even more determined. She realized her purpose in life was to fight for education for all girls. She continued to speak up and inspire millions around the world. Her bravery and dedication earned her the Nobel Peace Prize when she was just 17, making her the youngest person ever to receive it. Today, Malala's story teaches us that even in the face of great danger, standing up for what you believe in can make a huge difference. Her purpose, ensuring education for every child, especially girls, continues to inspire and change the world. So, we've talked about purpose, which is the reason why we do what we do, what we want to achieve. Now, let's talk about values. So, what are values? Our values are the core beliefs that guide our actions and decisions. Our values can be influenced by many things, including family, culture, experiences, the things we have been exposed to, and the societies. Our values are deep within. They are the things that determine what we actually do on the outside. We can have good values like curiosity, honesty, respect, kindness, contribution, and that leads us to take good actions and have good purposes. On the other hand, we can have bad values like always being right, seeking attention, being dishonest, feeling like a victim all the time and manipulating others. While those things are deep beneath us, they produce fruits in terms of actions and our purposes. Take, for example, leaders with awesome values. An example is Mother Teresa. The value of Mother Teresa is compassion, and due to her value system, she had a purpose to feed the poor, to clothe the people that could not clothe themselves, and to do a lot of good in the world. Another example of a leader with great values is Martin Luther King. His core value was justice, and because of that, he fought to liberate a lot of black people from the shackles of discrimination. Leaders can also have terrible values. For example, Sani Abacha was a military leader in Nigeria. He embezzled a lot of money and was going to force himself on the country as president before he suddenly died. His value was greed, or his values were greed and self-centeredness. What of Adolf Hitler? This is one of the most evil leaders the world has ever seen. He triggered World War II that killed around 75 million people globally, including 6 million of the 10 million Jews living in Europe. His value was self-centeredness and superiority. We have talked about purpose and values, but there's something even deeper than those, and those are principles. So what are principles? Principles are fundamental truths or rules that govern the way the world works. Principles are universal. They work whether you like them or you don't. As Stephen Covey said, while our values drive our behavior, principles govern consequences. For example, it is a fundamental truth that diligence leads to excellence. This statement, therefore, is a principle. Another example is, if you abuse hard drugs, that is a choice based on your values. However, your body will become unhealthy because your body is a system governed by principles. If we align ourselves with principles, we get the right result. It may take time, but we'll get the right result. If we set ourselves against those principles, we get the negative consequences. As a society, for example, we might choose to value personal wealth and power at all costs over our collective development. But we cannot then avoid the consequences of making that choice. Unchecked crime, agitation, and underdevelopment are the natural consequences of going against the principles of societal development. So, what are some differences between principles and values? Like I said before, principles are fundamental truths or rules, while values are core beliefs or standards that are important to an individual or a group. While principles are universal and objective, meaning they apply widely, values are personal and subjective. Principles are the basis for ethical behavior and decision making. Our values influence our choices and priorities in life based on what matters most to us. While principles are broad and applicable in many situations, values can be specific to individuals or cultures. Principles are relatively constant and unchanging over time, while values can evolve and change with experiences and personal growth. To summarize, here is where this becomes important in our personal lives and in our leadership. We must act with good purpose. Those purposes must be based on good values, and those values need to be aligned with timeless principles. Strive to lead your personal life and to lead others with purpose, based on good values, aligned with timeless principles. Only then would we master ourselves and be fit to lead.